Good morning. Today we will have a small review from what we have learned together during the week. From page 35, we have 5 personal review questions, and we are going to refreshing our minds what we learned during the week from lesson 6. Question number 1. What does it mean to be married to Christ? Is to live to be created anew in Christ Jesus, and to live a life without sin, and to bear fruits to God, according to the verse 4 from Romans chapter 7. What happens when we try to follow God's law in our own strength? From Sunday's lesson, question A, it was talking about the ancient Israel when they tried to obey God's moral law in their own strength. What would happen? They would fail. When they were journeying through the desert, and God would give them commandments, God would give them laws, they would say, all what the Lord had said we will do, all what the Lord had said we will obey. But shortly after that, they would do the opposite, and they would fail because they were trying to do by their own strength. And the same will happen with us. From Tuesday's lesson, under question A, we have a paragraph that says, he who is trying to reach heaven by his own works in keeping the law is attempting an impossibility. So it's impossible for us to keep God's law by our own strength. We need God's grace and His help in order for us to keep His commandments. Question 3. Where does our mind need to be when we seek to follow Christ? According to chapter 8 of Romans, I'm going to read verse 5 and 6 that says, those who live according to the flesh have their minds set on what the flesh desires, but those who live in accordance with the Spirit have their minds set on what the Spirit desires. The mind governed by the flesh is death, but the mind governed by the Spirit is life and peace. And also I'm going to read the verse from Colossians chapter 3 verse 2 that says, set your minds on things above, not on earthly things. So we need to have our minds set on things from above, not from earthly things. Question number 4. What good news is introduced in the opening of Romans chapter 8? Chapter 8 verse 1 says, therefore there is now no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. So this is the good news. No condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. This is the good news. How are we to continue to grow in the experience shown in Romans chapter 8? We are supposed to continue growing, being led by the Spirit, that says that for those who are led by the Spirit of God are the children of God. Verse 14 from Romans chapter 8. And we need to be guided by the Spirit, and we will become children of God, growing until we become children of God and heirs of God and co-heirs with Christ, if indeed we share in His sufferings, in order that we may also share in His glory. I read chapter 8 verse 17. May the Lord help us that we share in His sufferings, with Christ's sufferings, and we all may be led by the Spirit and become children of God. I wish you a blessed day and also a blessed Sabbath day of rest. Thank you for studying the lesson with me, and I hope you enjoy learning we're learning together, and we will be back sometime in the future. God bless you. Bye.